Hey everybody, welcome back to Cold Spring Harbor Library at the movies, except we're not at the movies, we're in my office. Even better, right? Certainly hope so. So like I said, thank you so much for joining me this week. I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do so. I'm going to talk about some new movies today that recently hit streaming services, and hopefully you'll watch them, or at least watch this review and not shut it off. So first up, we got this remake of a horror film called The Grudge. It's a remake of a late 90s Japanese horror film. The film actually, The Grudge 2020 that is, hope I didn't lose you yet, came out in theaters back in January. Not the biggest hit with critics, and certainly not the biggest hit with audiences either. So why am I talking about it? Because I actually am one of maybe 10 people on the planet who didn't think it was terrible. I certainly enjoyed watching it, and overall, it gave me a sense of unease. I mean, that's why we watch these kind of films, right? Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. But this film, it follows a house that is cursed by a vengeful ghost who curses anybody that enters it, and it locks them in this total haunting world and really just destroys their life. The film follows various different characters over a couple of years and how they interact with the house and each other. And does everything come together in the end? I don't know. You'll have to watch it and find out. So, is it a great horror film? I wouldn't call it great, but I do find it effective. One really great thing about this movie is that it actually sets a really creepy, disturbing, depressing atmosphere. Just the kind of thing you want to watch now. Well, if you're crazy like me, then you will. But like I said, it's got a few pop out scares, never quite scaring the bejesus out of you like some of the older Grudge films have. I do think it is worth a watch, though, especially if you've seen the 2004 film, because it's always really fun to compare, the original to the remake. What did they do different? What did they keep? And so forth. So give it a shot. It's on streaming now. You can do Amazon, you can do YouTube, iTunes, Apple, whatever you prefer. In my next review, I'm going to be talking about the rhythm section, which I actually really enjoyed. What the heck is the rhythm section? That's a strange title. Well, this film came out earlier this year, and it wasn't the biggest hit, but I call it a little sleeper hit. I actually thought it was done really well. We follow the wonderful Blake Lively in a role we've actually never seen her before, and she's known for doing things like Gossip Girl, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and here we are in this action drama, really gritty thriller type of film. So we follow Blake Lively, who is a woman. She seeks revenge against the terrorists who killed her family several years before the actual film starts. And this was really great. I was really surprised that it was not a bigger hit. It was actually shot back in 2017 and shelved for a few years, which always spells trouble for any kind of film nowadays. But to tell you the truth, you'd never know it by watching it. The film follows this character as she really goes through this dark transformation and becomes who she ultimately is, and Jude Law is also in it, and he's somebody who I've actually never really been the biggest fan of. I always found him rather annoying, but he's really good in this movie. Jude Law actually takes her under his wing and sets her up to be this sort of spy assassin, and she seeks out revenge, therefore. But it's nothing like John Wick. It's actually a deep character study of this character who has gone through some trauma and she has nothing left to lose. She has really just lost her way in life. And what I ultimately loved about the film was we see this awesome character arc from this disturbed younger woman just lying in the streets of some city, ultimately changes and becomes this really kick butt character. And I think that's really cool for Blake Lively. This is probably the best thing I've ever seen her in. She also was really great in A Simple Favor, completely different movie, but I'm also plugging that one as well. So this movie is available on streaming, like I said, YouTube, Amazon, whichever you want to do. And it's a fun watch. I don't think it deserved all the hate that the critics gave it. It's definitely a slow burn kind of film, But I think that's what I liked about it, because how many times have we seen, something like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where it's just nonstop action, or like John Wick, where Keanu Reeves is just kicking butt. And while that's all well and good and that's fun, that's not what this movie is going for. It is going for a character who has nothing to lose and is turned from this totally lost soul into somebody who ultimately has to face others and herself. And that's really what I enjoyed about it. Yes, there is some action in there, and that stuff is pretty great, too. So that wraps up this week. I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about these films. If you're interested in them, I do suggest going to imdb.com, Internet Movie Database, or you could go to YouTube and watch a quick trailer for it. Until next week, guys, stay safe, wash your hands, and do not cough on other people. That's a problem.